Well, I can just drum now while people come in. That's all. Just to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just for the heck of it.
Yeah, sit by the door and just
Yeah. I'll walk
drum
around.
wash.
I'll walk around.
Oh, yeah, even better. Even better. Because
And
we're
I can
almost
still
there.
walk.
I hear that.
Da dee da dee da dee da da. Dee dee da da. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, friends. I want to extend a warm welcome to you today. Everyone is welcome here. You're welcome here regardless of your age, your race, or the gender with which you identify. You're welcome here regardless of your income, your educational level, your religion, or your position in society. You are welcome here regardless of who you love or who you vote for. You are welcome here regardless of the losses you have suffered, the regrets that burden you, or the mistakes you have made. In this beloved community, we support each other in the sacred task of becoming, celebrate the transcending mystery of life, rely on the transforming power of love. Here we honor and revere the words of the Greek teachers, such as Jesus, the Buddha, and Confucius. It is, however, the task of every HUE to be their own Buddha, their own Jesus, their own Confucius. It is, however, it is our work as a community to walk with each other along the spiritual pathways that lead towards happiness, compassion, and life fully lived. And while we are a safe harbor where there is solace and healing, we are also a launching pad from which we are propelled into the tumult of life to live courageously, justly, and lovingly. In this sacred place, we create the structures that lift up the downtrodden, set the captives free, and heal the brokenhearted. Here we have learned that to be fully human is to be fully divine, and that with a little help from our friends, we can each tell our own unique story. And now Gretchen will bring our opening words.
Better for short people. Except now I can't see any of you. Thanks, Harvey. You're one of the most helpful people I know. Morning, everyone. My name's Gretchen. I've been a member of Buff since the 80s and glad to be here with you this morning for a winter solstice celebration. We've often done this in circle and done things a little differently than our regular service style. So follow along and participate as you wish, and we will do this. The winter solstice is the time of year, as if you haven't already noticed, that we have more dark during the day than we do night. And if you think of the year and the seasons as a wheel, we're at the top here, where the days are short and the nights are long. And the wheel, let me do it in your direction. The wheel cycles around to spring, where the equinox marks the point where we have equal night and equal day times, and then circles around to the what I consider the bottom of the wheel with the summer solstice and the longer days and the late evenings playing outdoors. And then the fall, of course, comes around, and we have an equinox at autumn equinox in September. So that shows us the point where the days and the nights are equal once again. I have a reading from Starhawk, who is a climate activist and a ritualist and Wiccan priestess from California, who has been leading people in ritual since the 70s, I believe. She says, the wheel of the year turns as it always does, and the winter solstice approaches. The promise of solstice is that the light always returns. Even when it feels like the darkness will never end, the days will grow longer, and the sun will grow stronger. When we embrace this knowing, we can be more present with the darkness, harnessing the darkness as a tool of gestation and deep listening. Remember, out of loss and grief come solace and compassion. Out of death and decay come fertility and new growth. When we enter fearlessly into the dark place of unknowing, amazing creativity can be born. Across the world, people celebrate the winter solstice with ceremonies, to lift hearts, cultivate reflection in the darkness, and welcome back the light, because we all need hope in the darkest of times.
Just wanted to welcome those joining us virtually on Zoom today. We have June, Gail, Joan and Doug, Lisa, Ralph, Roger, Linda, and Jim McConnell. So thank you for joining us.
What we'd like to invite you to do today is make a winter solstice ornament. And Joanne's going to display those. This is just a couple of samples that I made. What we have here for you are some glitter markers. We have some little round wood circles with a hole in the top so you can put the string in it, and some cutout foam. There's some sun shapes there, but there are also some additional sheets of that material if you want to cut out something of your own. And you can do this up at the table. You can take it back to your chair and do things with it. The markers will work, for drawing on the foam, or you can draw directly on to the wood ornament, and whatever you would like to do. Since we're talking today about the returning of the light and its balance with darkness, we're going to suggest that the sun, your representation of the sun, however you do it, is on one side, and then maybe something darker like blue or black on the other side. You could throw some stars in there, I suppose, or a moon. But yeah, so please come on up, take some pieces, and make an ornament for Solstice.
May you find peace in the promise of the solstice night, that each day forward is blessed with more light.
Any other, Judy, come up. Nan, this is the chant for the seasons.
We are going to chant for the season, which is autumn turning into winter.
So what we're going to do is Harvey's going to lead the song. He's going to sing a phrase first, and then we're going to repeat that phrase, and the words will be up on the screen.
Autumn cold has turned the star wheel, winter is upon us.
Autumn cold has turned the star wheel, winter is upon us.
Gray the windy storms, cold upon our cheeks, the wet rain glistens, glistens. Autumn cold has turned the star wheel, winter is upon us. Leaping is the fire, golden in the glass, the cider flows like amber. Autumn cold has turned the star wheel, winter is upon us. Leaping is the fire, golden in the glass, the cider flows like amber. Autumn cold has turned the star wheel, winter is upon us.
So we are going to, for the story for all ages, we have a dramatization of a story, and it's going to start out light, and then it's going to get very dark, which is why the windows are covered, and then it's going to get light again. So just don't get scared when the lights go out. It is part of what we're doing here. Hey, this story is an adaptation from the book Circle Round that I believe Gretchen provided for us. Circle round and I'll tell you a story from Japan about the time the sun disappeared. Amaterasu was the goddess of the sun. Golden and gleaming, she lived high in the heavens, giving warmth and light that gave life to all things on earth. And as the one who oversaw the heavens, she enjoyed order and peace. One day she heard a great noise approaching, a rumbling and crashing and banging. Amaterasu's brother, Susanoo, the god of the oceans and storms, was approaching.
Uh-oh, it sounds like my brother. He brings chaos everywhere he goes. I better protect myself.
Amaterasu armed herself with a golden bow and silver arrows and a quiver and warned her brother to stand back.
My sister, why do you always fear the worst of me? I come in peace. I only wish to say goodbye before I go on a long journey.
I've heard that one before.
Well, we are both gods. Let me show my peaceful intentions by making something together with our divine power. Let us make children.
So Amaterasu took her brother's sword and broke it into 3 pieces, chewed them up, and blew a cloud of life breath over them. They became 3 goddesses. 3 goddesses. Susanoo was sure he could do better than that, so he took 5 of her necklaces, chewed them, and blew a cloud of life breath over them. They became 5 gods. They start small.
I have 1. I made 5 goddesses, gods, whereas you only made 3. Haha! I have 1. I made 5 goddesses, whereas you have only made 3.
Susanoo thought he had won because he had created 5 gods versus Amaterasu's 3. But Amaterasu tricked him and said that she won since the 5 gods came from her jewels. She told Susanoo to go on his way and leave her in peace. Then she took the children, the gods and goddesses, and went to bed. Susanoo was mad that he had been tricked. He stormed and thundered through the heavens. Then he stomped over the earth, trampling rice fields and destroying irrigation ditches. When he arrived at Amaterasu's temple, the sacred place where she wove the clothing of the gods for the New Year's festival, he knocked down the walls and threw dung inside. By the time Amaterasu woke up, the walls were caving in and a spotted horse was rampaging through the sacred rooms. Scared and furious, she said she would never come out again. She goes into her cave. And then the room and the entire world grew very, very dark. All right. And Amaterasu said,
Who wants to shine in the world where a madman like my brother can do so much harm?
the world grew dark and cold. No sun shone to warm the earth, to coax rice plants out of the soil. Without the sun, all life began to die. Now, we need some more children to play the roles of gods and goddesses in the heavens. Anyone who wants to participate, could you come up here and stand around Susanoo, the god of the storms? The gods and goddesses got worried. They found Susanoo and banished him from heaven. Can you banish Susanoo from the heavens? You got to throw him out. Yeah, all right. Good job, gods and goddesses. All right. Nope, there's more to do. All right. Gotta be on this way. Okay. Please, all right. The gods asked, please come out. The gods and goddesses asked. Your brother is gone, and people are dying.
Please come out. The fields are dying, and there's no more light.
What can we do? Wondered the gods and goddesses. Finally, they came up with a plan. They brought roosters to crow outside the cave. The beautiful goddess Amaterasu. Could be any one of you. Yes, could you hold that, please? Thank you. The beautiful goddess Amaterasu led the others in frenzied dancing, and they laughed loudly as they danced.
Yay! Yay! Yay!
Amaterasu could hear the noise outside the cave and peeked to see what was happening. The gods and goddesses shouted that the world had found a goddess better and more vibrant than Amaterasu. If you don't believe me, they shouted, come and see for yourself. Then they held up a mirror in front of the cave. When Amaterasu looked in the mirror, she did indeed see a beautiful goddess and came out to look more closely. All right, now the lights come on again. Yeah, hold the mirror in front of her. She's looking at her beautiful image. Okay. The world once again became vibrant in life. With that, the light returned to the world. The sun rose and the world turned green again.
Yay!
Okay. And so all living things praise the warmth and beauty of the sun goddess by bowing before her. Amaterasu agreed to remain in the visible world and never again to withdraw. However, every year her light dims around the same time, winter solstice, and then gradually begins to glow bright again. In this way, the Japanese remember to never take anything for granted, including the light of the sun. Thanks, you guys did a great job. Thank you.
Joanne asked me to speak about the Danish tradition of HUE-gah, which became kind of a trendy buzzword in the US in 2016. HUE-gah is a Danish concept that doesn't have a direct translation in English, but refers to kind of a concept of coziness and sheltering and enjoying the simple pleasures. Some call it healthy hedonism, and others think it's just like a wholesome, nourishing experience. But it's the concept of enjoying simple, relaxing pleasures, either alone or in the company of others. HUE-gah can be found in a schlubby pair of sweatpants, or in a favorite book read by the fire with a cup of tea, or gathering with friends over a pot of soup and a board game. It can be found on a walk in the snowy woods. This sense of focusing on the small and simple pleasures of life is as much a part of the Danish and Scandinavian identity as freedom would be to Americans. HUE-gah can also be described as a state of mindfulness in how to make the essential and mundane tasks of everyday life more dignified, more joyful, more beautiful, and how we can live a life connected to the ones that we love. HUE-gah encourages sheltering, clustering, and enclosing, a closing in, which is what we experience in at the winter solstice, in the darkness and the cold. And that instinct to hunker down hits us especially hard at this time of dark and cold in the wheel of our Michigan year. And HUE-gah tells us to feed that instinct with simplicity and cheerfulness, and community, and building a sense of belonging. Some critics of HUE-gah can say that it becomes insular, and so it's important at this time of year to, yes, feed that inner desire to rest, as long as that we include others and that we are willing to expand our circle of community when the sun comes back. The hard-earned lessons of Scandinavians might best show with HUE-gah is that all you really need to get through a frigid Nordic winter or Michigan winter is shelter and sustenance and kith and kin. So we'd like to invite you to share what experiences, activities, thoughts that nourish you in the cold and the dark. And I think, Joanne, were we going to turn the lights off? And then I can bring you the microphone if you'd like to stay in your seat, or you're welcome to come up. So we'd like you to share something that is HUE-gah to you. And then we'll light a light on the table to kind of a ritual of lights, of sharing those things that nourish us in the dark of the winter solstice. Do you want to go ahead and turn the lights off? And then if I can bring you the mic if you want to raise your hand, or if you would like to get up out of your seat, you can come up. Coming up.
So I just realized this idea of HUE-gah, which sometimes I call Hygge because that's kind of what it looks like. Yeah, I didn't really know but so I say get Hygge with it. But anyway, but HUE-gah, I love that because it is like, one thing I read about it was like that to focus on the light, and that even in the darkness, the light like shines, and really make a thing of that. And what I've read about it too is about like getting together with people that you really value and doing little cozy things with them or whatever. So last night my cousin came over, and my uncle and her and I watched a Harry Potter movie, and I lit a candle, and it was very HUE-gah. But one of the things that's my favorite to do, and I meant to bring a clipboard with me with some coloring stuff on it, is like sitting with like coloring or making art, whichever, and listening on, I've discovered Hoopla, the library Audible app, where you can listen to audiobooks for free through your library, and listen to an audiobook. I've been listening to all the Harry Potters, and then coloring or something while I'm doing that. Very cozy, very relaxing.
If there's anyone on Zoom that would like to share, I will light a light for you here too.
My family.
Okay.
What?
Oh, I don't know. So just this Friday, I feel like I had a good experience of this kind of thing where Ishmael and I went for a little play date after school to a friend's house, and that was wonderful. And actually, one of my friends is actually from Switzerland, and so she had all these like fancy little cookies that I've never had before. So that was awesome. And we had a cup of tea, and the kids played and everything, and that was wonderful. But then Ishmael and I were gonna walk. We had to walk home, and it was kind of a jaunt, and it was very cold out and very windy. But Ishmael and I kind of just like made it home, but it was like also like the lights, Christmas lights in windows and looking in people's houses and seeing the trees and stuff. So even though it was like cold and, oh, let's get home, it was still had that like good feeling to it.
Oops. Well, it came out. I'll just hold it. I love to listen to music. So whatever I'm doing, I always have music on. And if it's a waltz or something, I'll just dance around the house and just enjoy myself. And I don't, if anybody's looking in the window, I say, oh, that crazy lady, look at her just running around there in the house. But it's so much fun to just let your body go and move. And so that's one of the things I enjoy. And I also like to sew, of course, as you know, and I'm always in the making a project of some kind. If somebody says, well, what are you doing? Well, I have a project, whatever it might be. Right now, I'm working on making a quilt for my granddaughter, who, believe it or not, is going to be 50 years old. She's my oldest granddaughter. So I'm looking forward to giving that to her. Her birthday is on Valentine's Day, so I'm making sure that it's something that will really be look like Valentine's. It'll be red and full of wonderful things. And then, of course, I have wonderful neighbors. My neighbors will, yesterday I looked outside and there was one of them shoveling a little bit of the snow that was in my driveway. And that made me feel really so good and so taken care of, kind of. I just loved it. And then there's going out to lunch when I can. I have some neighbors I have some good friends, in fact, who will say, let's go out to lunch. And going out to lunch is always good because then I can get out. I can communicate a little bit. I can see other people. And that's so important to me to be part of this world and to be able to enjoy others, because they are what makes life worth living, is to have good friends and people you care about, and they care about you. So that's just a few of the things. I'm sure there's many more. And right now, I'm just looking forward to spending Christmas with my one daughter who'll be here, and I hope she'll come and you'll be able to meet her. She's one, I have two daughters and lots of sons, many. So anyway, that's what I do. I always have to have a project. Anyone else?
You can share, June.
Okay. Yes. Well, first of all, I'm so grateful for Gloria. What an inspiration she is. But my cousin Gail is here with me this weekend, which I'm also grateful for. We grew up in this cottage together in our summers with our grandparents. And so this is her house as much as it is my house. And you've been seeing my house today instead of her kitchen ceiling. You're now seeing my dining room. When you see Gail W., you're looking at my dining room ceiling. So I'm grateful to have Gail here. And one of the reasons she's here is that our cousin, who lives two doors down, it was celebrating an early Christmas because their son was going to be working over Christmas time. So they had an early Christmas and included us. And we had a wonderful day yesterday with our cousin at their house and family and friends. And it's been a delightful weekend. So I've had a Christmas. My son will be coming with our grandson, his son, and significant other the day after Christmas. So I'll have another Christmas then. So I'm very grateful for this season. And the dark does not bother me. I'm perfectly fine with the dark, although I also enjoy the light. So thank you all.
It's Reuben lit one. Yeah. Reuben lit a candle for you, June.
Okay.
I am faithful for church.
For church. that feeds her soul.
I'm thankful for my family tradition laying under the Christmas tree.
She said, laying under the Christmas tree, we like to look at the lights. And I think mine most frequently is cooking. I enjoy feeding physically the souls of those I love, but also putting all the love into the food.
I liked baking cookies with my mom because I can eat them afterwards.
So I love waking up before everyone else in the morning and having coffee and looking at the Christmas lights before all the kids and the puppy wake up. So I love doing that in the winter, especially when it's still dark. And I have to wake up really early to get up before middle school kids. And I don't like that so much, but at least it's some peace. And on the flip side, so we recently got a puppy, and my kids and the puppy in the evenings are very loud. So that is also, I think, something I will look back on and see as a comforting thing. And my other comfort item is, like Bridget said, with this pajama pants, is a big comfy sweatshirt. So that's my comfort item. Yeah, we'll have Roger go. Roger, you can share.
Thank you. Every year, my family and I engage in a tradition for 8 nights to celebrate the holiday of Hanukkah. Now, we're not Jewish, that's not our tradition. But in every church that I served, including this one, I led a Hanukkah service at least 1 year. But what happens this afternoon, because tomorrow night is the first night of Hanukkah, we will light a candle for the first night. We'll also turn on the first bulb in the garish electric what's the term I want?
Menorah?
Menorah, thank you. Which makes the next thing I'm going to say rather problematic. Because before we can celebrate the first night of Hanukkah tomorrow night, we have to find the damn menorah this afternoon because nobody has any idea where we put it last year. The menorah that we light, where the candle burns for maybe 20 minutes, we usually put away with a collection of bobblehead dolls. It's never there, but we always think that's where it is. So we look in that drawer, no menorah, and off we go around the house looking for it. Next come the candles, which are put in with playing cards and other games, except they never are. And then there's the garish blue and white electric menorah where you screw in the bulbs and they can burn all night and show the neighbors that you're celebrating, but most of them, being Roman Catholic, don't know what it is you're celebrating. And that's always in the basement next to the suitcases, except of course it never is. So that's the big afternoon comfort activity is, where's the menorah? Where are the candles? Does anybody know where the spare bulb is?
This sounds delightful, Roger. Reuben found a candle here and he's lighting it for you.
Appreciate that.
Hi, one of my favorite activities, at least this year, I've been making candy with my 3 grandchildren that are here visiting. And the discussion when making bonbons is, should we like make 4 dozen little bonbons or 1 3-pound big bonbon? But we settled for the 4 dozen. So anyway, that's HUE-gah for me.
So my HUE-gah is my little Yorkie. He's very HUE-gah, very HUE-gah.
because I sit down on my couch every evening and he jumps up on me. He's 8 pounds, jumps up on me, puts his paws on my chest, stares at me. And then the next maneuver is flops over onto his back in my cradled arm. And then he lays there staring with his beautiful little brown eyes, like, rub my tummy, mommy. And there he lays for the next hour.
You're divine, child.
Yeah. Would you light a candle for Candace? Thank you. Oh, you got it.
Anyone else here in the sanctuary? I can come to you. Want to share your comfort? Reuben? I have to bring it to you.
My how do you pronounce it again? HUE-gah is reading my books in my bed when it's all warm.
Iris?
My HUE-gah is going to sleep at night.
Anyone else? Gretchen? Clark? Julie? Okay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. My comfort is hearing your comfort. I would love for you to light a candle for me.
Now we're going to do our offering, and we have special offertory music.
It remains to be seen whether we're the three wise ladies or not. Floated in darkness within the mother, so begins a brand new life. Cradled in sound of steady heartbeat till we push out toward the breaking light. Breaking light, breaking light. We keep on reaching for that breaking light. Solstice of winter is to such a birthday, dancing by firelight to drum and fife. Heart of Earth Mother beating beneath us, calling us into the breaking light. Breaking light, breaking light. We keep on reaching for that breaking light. So did the Maccabees' light keep burning. So did a star shine on Mary's child. So does the soul forever keep yearning till its long night awakes into breaking light. Each late December, rejoice and remember, the dark always gives way to dawn. Ever it has been, all grown-ups and children sing praise for the coming of the sun. Breaking light, breaking light. We keep on reaching for that breaking light. Breaking light,
I forgot how much I missed those three singing. That was beautiful. Before we go, I have a short poem, and then we'll extinguish our chalice, and we have a special benediction led by Gretchen, Joy to the Earth. This is Eclipse by Sophia Rosenberg. Go home, light a bonfire in the heart of your community. Hang lanterns from the trees like constellations. Dance circles in the dark, alone and together, as the wheel turns.
Beth will have these lyrics up on the screen. We're going to do one verse, and we're going to do it twice. So since it's different from what you're used to, there won't be a whole lot to worry about. Joy to the earth, right? The light returns. You're going to extinguish the chalice? Okay, let me read the, yes, you do that.
Rejoice in the darkness, in the silence find the rest, and may the days that follow be abundantly blessed.
Thank you, fellow polka dot person. So is joy to the earth, the light returns, yes, and let sunlight fill the air. The tide has turned now, the sun has been reborn, and hope is everywhere. Okay, Candace is going to play.
You can stand if you're willing and able.
Please. Joy to the earth, the light returns, let sunlight fill the air. The tide has turned, the sun has been reborn, and hope is everywhere, and hope is everywhere, and hope is everywhere. Joy to the earth, the light returns, the sunlight fill the air. The tide has turned, the sun has been reborn, and hope is everywhere, and hope is everywhere, and hope is everywhere. Merry solstice, everyone.